Another thing that we added this year that was really helpful was that here in our live well, we installed a freshwater hookup, a live well pump. So that is made by Flow-Right, or I should say that is a Rural Tournament Series live well pump, 800 gallons per minute. I got that with all the hosing that we needed for that hookup from flowright.com, I believe is what it's called. Very informative website. They got tons of stuff on there. I just happened to find them by going through other people's YouTube channels. So that is hooked up down there, and the way we hooked it up was due to the fact this is a saltwater vessel. My dad had the great idea of not drilling any more holes in his boat. What we did was we tapped into the waste water, or your poop tank release valve. That this is the holding tank for your waste. There was a hose that went from back here to down to that valve there, and what we did is we disconnected that, just unhooked it all, and we ended up finding all the plumbing that we needed from the hardware store and hooked up our source of water from that valve, because it was already a hole in the boat. My dad did not want to drill any more holes in his boat. So that was that. And as well, with that source of water, we made sure to get the correct live well pump that had a T in it, that we were also able to hook up our Seaflow, which we got from Amazon, Seaflow Washdown pump. And so that was a huge help this year, because last year we didn't have that. And whenever we got blood and guts or whatever mess on the boat, no more going off the back of the boat, getting a bucket of water and dumping it on the boat. Now we just have our hose here. We have a switch underneath here, turns it on, you spray, and saved a lot of time and effort for that. So that was nice. Talk about our lights. The lights that we installed on this boat, which we've had now since we've owned it, because one of the first things we installed were the lights, because we knew we wanted lights to see on this boat while we're fishing. The most important ones, I would say, at nighttime are these here floodlights. So this floodlight, got it from Cabela's. This bracket, got it from Tractor Supply, so we got a matching set for the other side. Those we rigged up into this tubing, ran all the wiring down through the tubing, back up to the dash and up to their own separate switches. This floodlight definitely saves us a lot of time in the dark. Makes things so much easier. Other lights that we installed blue lights down on the floors of the boat. You guys see that? Those blue lights, I believe we got them off Amazon as well. I don't remember the name of them, but pretty much your generic LED blue light. They make things a lot easier for at nighttime. So when we're fishing, say we got fish on and we do not want to blind ourselves with these lights, turn the blue lights on. They illuminate the back of the boat just nice, just right, so we can keep fishing. So, and it wasn't overpowering. Another light feature that was important was we installed underwater blue lights. So we'll come back here to the back of the boat and we'll talk about those. So these underwater blue lights, if you don't have them, you should get them, because if you're in early morning or in the dark, when you go to net a fish in the dark and you have just a flashlight on your head or something, a lot of times those fish get spooked by that light. This here, I would say the fish didn't get spooked as bad, because they were very successful for us, and they illuminated the back of the water so well for us. We could see 20 to 30 feet back. We could see the fish underwater almost 10 feet down. So that made a huge help for the person netting the fish at the back of the boat when it was dark out. And we had a really good season at the end of the year netting these fish in the dark, because it seemed like for one weekend straight that every fish seemed to bite right at sunset or after, and we had quite some phenomenal trips doing that. So that, in a nutshell, is everything on here on the Dominica Amore, the 2007 270 Sea Ray Amberjack. This boat's been good to us, and that's about everything I can think of off the top of my head. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Alright, so one other thing I want to mention, that the reason why my dad picked this boat as he did, this is a 2007 Sea Ray Amberjack 270 size. The reason why he picked this boat, because for one, it had an 8'6" beam on it, so he was allowed to trailer it. The size of it was big enough for us to sleep 4 people comfortably. It was big enough to take a good number of people out on the lake. It handles pretty good sized swells. I mean, just recently we were out fishing, and 3 to 4 is pretty good. But then it got to about 5s and 6s, which it was uncomfortable for us, so we decided to pack things up and head in. But this boat, because it's, you know, not too big, he was able to trailer it, pull it back and forth. So we go anywhere from Lake Erie all the way to Holland, Michigan, Ludington, Michigan. And yeah, it's a long drive, but this is a pretty heavy duty aluminum trailer. The boat dry weighs about 8,000 pounds, but with all of our gear in it, getting close to probably 9,000 pounds, I would assume, with everything. But the most important thing, not only having a nice boat and also being able to trailer it, you gotta have a truck that can pull it. So the truck that he uses to pull it is a 2012 F350. It's got the 6.7 liter turbo diesel, power stroke. It's got it, you know, souped up to his needs and whatnot. But it does well pulling the boat. I will say that truck, when we pull it, you can hardly tell that it's back there, realistically. I mean, the only time you notice is when you hit a bump and it bounces pretty good. But besides that, it pulls the boat good, does everything we need, and it makes trailering it down the road pretty easy. So that was one of the biggest features, I would say, is a positive for us, is that we're able to jump from port to port, following the fish with the season. So springtime, we usually go after the walleye. In the summer, we'll try to make a few runs out to Southern Basin, Lake Michigan, go after the kings when they're coming up, and then once it hits that end of summer, end of fall, king salmon season, we'll hit that hard and heavy like we did this year. So that's a really nice, cool feature about this boat, that it's just big enough, you know, to do all the stuff we want on it, stay on it, bring friends, family, whatnot, but also small enough to trailer and being able to resource that ability to go to other ports.